Hi guys, this is take 2. Alright, so I know I haven't recorded a video in a long time, but I basically haven't done anything in a long time. I've been working on some stuff that I want to stock because I'm starting an Etsy shop and I'm really excited about it. Also, I have been waiting on my ring light to get here. What you think? What you think? And one more thing, Jesus. I haven't read shit, so I ain't had nothing to talk about. I think I burned out with all of those back-to-back videos for the Strike Back Videothon, and then after that I was like, well, I done said everything, shit. I'm back. Anywho, that being said, I will be participating in one of my favorite readathons, one of the first videothons I ever participated in. This is a TBR for Read-O-Rama round 9, and I believe I jumped on board with participating in round 6 or 7, and it's just kind of like, I really enjoy it, and it's one of the more fun ones for me. Anyway, I will link April's TBR down below because April is one of the first people I started following on BookTube, and she is how I found out about this readathon, April, from over at April Sarah. So I will link her video down in the description box. Now, there are 7 this time around. Yeah, there are 7 challenges for Read-O-Rama Readathon, and let's just get to them so you can find out what I'm reading. Read-O-Rama Readathon, in case I didn't mention, which I didn't, but I should probably tell you, takes place from March 3rd to March 9th. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Takes place from March 3rd to March 9th. Midnight to midnight in your time zone. Now, there are challenges. I'm going to tell you what they are because that's how I do the TBR for this. I got my life together. First challenge for Read-O-Rama Readathon is to read 7 books. Jesus. Now, the subsequent challenges, there are only 6 left, so if you do 1 book per challenge, you have at least 1 freebie unless you start combining book challenges, like multiple challenges to 1 book. So for my freebie, I have picked 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. This is a 1001 Nights / Arabian Nights retelling, which I love. I don't know how many times I've mentioned it on this channel, but I love retellings in general. That you all know. But I especially love Arabian Nights. I love Aladdin. I love basically everything that came out of that. So this is another retelling. I have multiple copies of Arabian Nights on my shelves. I have 2 copies of The Wrath and the Dawn and 2 copies of The Rose and the Dagger. Like, this is not a game. Now, I'm really stoked to read this, so I have been trying to fit it in somewhere. I might start doing themes again because this random draw TBR shit is not working for me. I didn't read none of those books. Who's surprised? Raise your hand. I'll wait. Nobody? I didn't think so. Alright, so that is for challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 is to read a book with Rama in the title and or the author's name. I gotta put my liquor down for this. Now, for this one, I have picked the Hazelwood by Melissa Alpert, and Rama is R-A-M-A. The Hazelwood, I actually got an ARC for months ago. Forgot I was on my Kindle, because e-ARCs are the worst for me, because I don't ever just arbitrarily open my Kindle and go, what do I need to read, unless I'm super bored. Usually I'll take a book with me, or I'll take like 5 physical books with me to work, and I'll pick from those. And I forget about my Kindle, even though I take it with me literally every day. Yeah, I need to start reviewing those, or they're going to stop giving them to me. This one is about a girl named Alice whose grandmother is a recluse and writes these really dark fairy tales. When her grandmother dies, Alice's already normally bad luck gets even worse. Then her mother's kidnapped by this guy, person, creature, being thing who says he is from the world in which her grandmother's stories take place, but the clue that's left, I'm not sure whether it's left by her mom or by her grandmother, says stay away from the Hazelwood, but that's where she's got to go to get her mom. So that's the premise of that, and it looks really good, and I like fairy tales. I like dark fairy tales, but so I'm excited to read it. That's 2 kind of fairy tale-ish type things I have, so this readathon's looking awesome already. Challenge number 3 is read a book with LGBTQ+ rep. For this one, I have picked Cloak in Silence by Sherilyn Kenyon. This is part of her League series, which is the sci-fi-ish leaning type subgenre in her paranormal romance series. This one, I don't know why the cover look all janky like that and like blown up. Like they took a piece of another cover and stretched it too big. I don't know. But, maybe it's an ARC, actually. Is it an ARC? No, not an ARC. So I don't know what the hell, but this is part of her League series. And this one, the two characters, Maris and Tur. Tur I don't recall, but Maris pops up a bunch in the other stories. Maris is one of those characters who kind of disguises how badass and lethal he is, and he just lets everyone think he's harmless. And this one, I'm really not sure how it's gonna go, because some of the planets, they view homosexuality as a bad thing, and some of them, they really just give no fucks. You do what you want. It's not a big deal. Like, as you know, everybody should view it, because what other people do is none of your fucking business anyway. So I'm interested to see it, because I like Maris as a character, but I've only ever seen him in the best friend role, and he's never really like flirty or anything like that, so we'll see. I have literally no idea what the premise of this is besides the romance or where it fits in the League series. Sherilyn Kenyon has a really bad habit of writing a series and then going back and dividing it up into like 6 sub-series, and it's a pain in the ass. So like this one, when I open it up, it says book 6 of First Generation. I don't know what the fuck that is. I know it's part of the Lead series. Yeah, y'all see, I did a whole thing bitching about that. I'm gonna stop. Challenge number 4 is to pick a new to you author. For this, I picked Ready Player One by, I was gonna say Patsy Cline, Jesus. By Ernest Cline. I don't think Patsy Cline ever wrote a book. I've had this. This is one of the first books I bought when I moved to Denver. So I've had this book since 2016, and I ain't read it yet. And now there's a movie coming out. So I'm like, I really need to read it now. And the movie's, I think, actually about to come out soon, because there's already Ready Player One merch in Hot Topic. Like, wait a minute, Jesus. So mostly because I just want to jump on the bandwagon, and some of that merch was like all like 80s Tron looking. It looked really cool. I was like, I need to see if this is something I need to buy. So I need to read the books so I can watch the movies so I can buy the merch. I'm fucking overboard. I am overboard as fuck. So in this one, this follows the main character, Wade, who just like typically likes to, it's a futuristic dystopian kind of a society where Wade likes to jack into the Oasis, which is this VR game type world. He likes to go into this world and solve puzzles and etc. But then shit gets kind of hairy when other players start basically wanting to kill to win, and then it turns to like a race to win the game, a race to survive, that kind of a thing. So it struck me as like being a little Matrixy, and it even said that on the front, like enchanting Willy Wonka meets the Matrix. I don't know about Willy Wonka in the Matrix. That sounded a little oddball, but I'm here with the Matrix. Matrix is one of my favorite movies. It's the bomb. It had the movies, it had the animated stuff. It's great. So this sounds like something I would like, and I like dystopians, and I like video games, so Number 5 is to read a book released in the spring. So for this one, I've done what April's doing and picked an arc that's coming out this spring, and picked From Unseen Fire by Cass Morris. This is a fantasy book that's supposed to be coming out in April. I got a digital arc, as you can see. This is my heavily protected Kindle because I drop this mofo frequently. It's magic based, and is set in this Roman type of like world, which like really brings to mind Spartacus for me, which I was like, ooh. So it's got badass female mage in like this Spartacus type world. Okay. What's the story about, Lauren? I don't know. That's all I wanted. I'm happy with that. Let me tell you what the book's about though. So this one, like the opening tagline on Goodreads, like of the opening line of the summary, says the dictator is dead. Long live the Republic. But whose Republic will it be? Hold on. I gotta get my laptop. I can't see from here. I'm blind. Senators, generals, and elemental mages vie for power to shape the future of the city of Avon. Lieutenant of the Batalier, a mage of spirit and fire, has suppressed her phenomenal talents for fear they would draw unwanted attention from unscrupulous men. Now there's a dictator who threatened her family is gone. She may have opportunity to seize a greater destiny as a protector of the people, if only she could find the courage to try. Her siblings, blah 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 blah, and then there's like love story and mystery and stuff, and just I don't want to read all of that because I like to go into stories blind and go, ooh, I like this, because a lot of times the summaries, they tell too much for me, and then stuff gets predictable. I just like to know the least amount as possible, or just enough to get my interest, and then don't tell me nothing else. Roman inspired world with magic in it, the main character is like badass female. So if you want to know more than that, I will leave the link to the Goodreads page for this book down below, because I don't want to read no more than that. I know y'all like, how does bitch review books and don't ever say what the fuck it's about? Well, I tell you what it's about after I read it, but beforehand, I don't want to know. I just like to go, this looks interesting, I'm going to read it, and then just go into a blind AF. Challenge number 6 is to read a borrowed book. For this is a chunker. Jade City by Fonda Lee, which I borrowed like a month ago. I haven't returned it. And so in this one, it's set in an Asian world. It's also a fantasy, but it's like fantasy mixed with mob elements. Yep, mob as in the mafia. Yep, them. I was super stoked to read it because I love mob stories. I'm trash like that. I like mob romances. I like mob fan fiction. Like where you take the characters and put them in the mob, not fan fiction about the actual mob. I hope that's not a thing because that's fucking weird. But at any rate, apparently it's going to be part of a series. It's the Green Bone Saga #1, but in this one, like, they get their magic from Jade, and Jade is used as an like method of power and currency within this like Asian mafia type of a setting, and I'm super fucking excited to read it. Hopefully I can get into it so I can get people their damn book back. And then #7 is to read a host's pick. For this one, I just went with April's pick, and her pick is Peter Pan, like the original, but J.M. Barrie, Peter Pan, which I have never read. I've seen the movie, I've read retellings, I've watched movie retellings and TV show retellings and etc. But I've never read the original story, so I will be reading that. Which means I have to go get it because I don't have a copy of it. I will be reading that for Read-O-Rama. So that is it for my challenges. Those are the 7 books that I intend to read. Again, Read-O-Rama Readathon takes place March 3rd through March 9th from midnight to midnight in your time zones. And there are giveaways and such. I will link the hosts pages down in the description box so you can learn about the rules and the giveaways and etc. etc. This is basically just TBR, not an announcement, because I'm lazy. So that is it for this video. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.